Welcome, everyone. This is our Good of the Whole public community call. We call it our Mentoring Stewards call, but it's our public call once a month on the first Wednesday of every month. Everyone is welcome. This is an inclusive space, and so we're so happy to share this call out with everyone and hopefully be of service, be of value, be of meaning. Those are our words today. And so we're going to continue on that thread. But first, I'm going to invite Shelley to lead us into some resonance, into an attunement. So Shelley Darling, one of our co-founders of Good of the Whole, will begin that. Thanks, Shelley. I'm going to put myself on.
Lovely to see you. Wow. And if you just take a moment and just, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a songbird that is really bringing us into our focus and resonance as we come into Love Lives Here in our Earth edition. So we are that. We are that song that's moving through us. Our voices are bringing forth that which, as Julie was saying, is meaningful and of value. And we're learning to really embrace ourselves first in our wholeness. So this morning, just taking a few breaths, because it's simply a breath that gets us back into that renowned synchronicity of life as it's coming towards us. And this morning, just with the intention that we're meeting everything that's arising with ease. Whether it's a person or a circumstance, we're just really gently with breathing into this natural rhythm of life. Feeling that full connection. And as we're breathing and just opening to this beautiful, just imagining this beautiful ball of light, this great central sun that's showering down and filling that central column of that prana tube and expanding out and impacting every cell that's within the fluid. You know, water is the blood of our body. Water is the blood of the earth. It's the moving, living organism. And through those waters, we're connected to the earth. Just allowing that sensation of fluidity here today. An appreciation and gratitude for what's moving in your field, how love is living here. From the physicality, right? From the physicality, all those organs engaging as a unified living system. The in-breath and the out-breath of life itself. And then becoming aware of our spiritual nature, this resonance with the unified field, God, source consciousness, this effervescence. And being present to what is seen and what is unseen. And moving from that sensation of knowing here. Acknowledging that, appreciating that depth of life that you're consciously moving with. And embracing our mind as that which supports the actioning in our life, guides us, tapping in and following and flowing from that knowing from the heart. So this relationship, this beautiful relationship between our mind and our heart. In deep surrender to that voice of creation itself. How love is informing you and how you're informing through your love all the actions, anything that you're engaging with another person. And just taking another breath and feeling that full illumination and that etheric energy, embracing those shamanic beings that are our guides, our guidance here today, the ancestors, and the ancient wisdom coming in, weaving itself with this wisdom of now. And with that, just gently coming back here to full presence in our beautiful resonance circle here today, focused as mentoring stewards for good of the whole. And with that, I just pass that beautiful song over to you, Julie.
Thank you. I love the birds. Like, any nods for that? Wasn't that just beautiful? And I think Shelley could just stay off mute the whole time. It's so gorgeous. And it's beautiful because I woke up at 2 this morning, and I go over 2 days a week so my kids can work out. My son and daughter-in-law can work out. So I kind of tend to the sleeping baby while they work out. And even at 5 o'clock this morning, the birds were singing. So we're going to do a check-in, and I was feeling when Shelley was talking, I'm going to tell just a brief story because I know Shelley will appreciate it greatly, but it also is a beautiful metaphor for us today. So when Shelley was talking, she said, she's talking about the waters and the blood, and then she said the depth of life we're consciously moving with. That was a phrase. It was beautiful, Shelley. Thank you. The depth of life we're consciously moving with. So here's my story that leads to our check-in. I was recently out in California, and beautiful hotel area on the ocean. It was just a delightful setting. And the first day we were there, I went into this lobby, and they had a little coffee shop in their lobby, and at night it turned into a bar, and it was just like this, it was all about community in this lobby area. And I got my coffee, and I was waiting for my husband, and I sat down in this couch near a fireplace, and there's this guy working over here on his computer, and he walks by, and he has these really bright shoes. There's crazy bright shoes on, and I'm like, I love your shoes. And he's like, oh, and he comes back, and he starts talking. He had to get chocolate into his coffee, and he was an artist, and he gathered seashells and created living art with seashells, and had this big business of art from the sea. And he just started talking to me, and here's what he said that I think Shelley will love, so hopefully she can still hear us, is that he just began talking about the water and talking about the information of the water. And he said, he goes, we are mostly water, right? And I'm like, yeah, right. And he goes, we don't just have the water like the earth. We experience it in the same way. We experience the tides. The water in our body moves with these the same cycles as the ocean and what have you. And he was just like talking about what moves. And then Shelley had said this depth of life we're consciously moving with. So with our check-in today, and I'm just fascinated that an artist could say that to me. Like, he literally was trying to teach me that. And I'm like, yeah, and high tide and low tide and the moon cycles and but literally imagine the tide moving in your body, like feel it on that cellular level. And I thought it was so cool to have an artist sitting there sharing that. We're sharing today. I'm going to invite you to do a brief check-in, a couple sentences, maybe a paragraph, not a dissertation, 1 to 2 minutes, and share how love lives here, how that is moving consciously inside of you, or how earth consciousness, so love lives here, or earth consciousness is literally consciously moving in the depths of life within you right now. What is that joy that moves you? What is that yearning that moves you? What is that desire, that dream, that hope, that whatever? How is that moving within you, in your body, in your life today? And that's our brief check-in. And the talking stick, let's put this beautiful crystal that Linda gave me years ago into the center as a talking stick. So there it is. Linda's picking it up.
I am, because this has been such a beautiful opening this morning. And I want to keep that thread going about the waters and the energy and consciously moving it through our bodies. Last weekend, I spent 4.5 days in Chicago with a training for Radiant Child Yoga. And it's from the Kundalini Yoga line. And so I've been doing these extra breathings and moving the Kundalini as energy and water. And Julie, when you were talking about, it's undulating inside of us and it's keeping us alive, I've been so conscious of it. And I'll talk about this later, but I'll just keep it really brief. What I learned at that yoga retreat was a chant that I am doing as my 40-day mala thing. And it's Ramadasa, Sase Sohung. And it is about the moon and the sun and the earth. And so it's all of this energy and then bringing that energy and bringing it back up. And I have been feeling like a purring going on in my first and second chakras like I have never felt before. And I'm, pretty tuned into energy, but it's like, oh gosh, I hope that everything is okay in my body. So I'm buzzing and I'm happy to be here, and may the energy and the waters flow. Thank you for the beautiful crystal. I put it back on in the center of our circle.
June, I'm going to unmute you between calls, and so whenever you want to jump in, you're welcome to.
Oh, okay, thanks.
We're shy today.
I guess I'll take a chance then. Something a little different. For me, how love is moving in the depths of my soul has to do with my voice and standing on the planet and speaking truth in a way that I don't feel like I ever have, like standing for love in a way that is calling me to the forefront. And I'm engaging with people from a level of trust. I don't think I've ever been here. Like, it's an example. My mom walked in and I was upset about something, and it was something that had to do with communication in a way of speaking in, I don't know if it's going to make sense, but speaking in integrity. I think that's really what I want to say this morning. Speaking from the depths of our soul in integrity, and meeting another person or a circumstance, not from a place of controversially, but from a place of loving myself so much that I'd be willing to share with you that which may make you feel uncomfortable. And I feel like that's what the earth is asking us to do. It's asking us to really stand and learn how to stand in that love in a way that we might never have. For some people, that might mean I need to take a nonviolent course, or for some people it might mean something else. But I feel like it's really loving life so much that we're willing to show up in ways that might in the past have made us feel uncomfortable, but that we're really moving from the breath, the pause, the breath, and knowing. And that feels really, it feels like something's grounding that. To me, that's earthing ourselves. We're really honoring ourselves and honoring another in such a way that it's almost like that sense of, there's like a really, an umbilical cord to her, and an umbilical cord to life itself that we're speaking from. And we're seeing it with the children. So doing that more and more. So with that, I'm complete. I hope I made sense, but I'm in the process of getting what that is.
Morning, everyone. This is June from California, and what's emerging and filling me with love and allowing me to express it and feel it and move with it more fully is the realization that we are truly in the consciousness, the opening, the breaking open of a new level of consciousness and a new level of asking us to be responsible for how we use our love and how we move in that love, both, as Shelley was saying, in are willing to tell the truth, are willing to show up, but also in my willingness to face whatever comes to me in the world in new ways, and see them as invitations rather than heavy challenges, invitations to do things differently, to love the more difficult ones, to know that as I work with those with love, it's like I'm on a ladder where I've got wings and I'm able to really move forward and open and deepen at the same time. And so, especially as the sun shines and the nature opens up, it's like a symphony of knowing that I'm in an orchestra that's changing, growing, expanding, making mistakes, and loving myself in spite of it, and moving forward. And so that's where I'm working with and loving at this moment in time. And pass the beautiful crystal talking stick back into the group with huge thank yous for being there today.
Thank you, June.
Well, that's not too much time. Goodbye. I will gently lift the crystal. And I'm resonating with Shelley, just the attempt to communicate of what it is that's moving, because that it feels hard to be articulate about that. And Linda also, I've been listening. I was listening the other night to that chant, and it is so beautiful. The sa, Rama, and I just on and on. It's just so fabulous. And all of that music, I love the music, the chanting, this Natam Kaur, and that genre, so deep, and it puts me in touch with that resting and that current of movement that's there. And Shelley, I think that bird had to be a mockingbird because it was so, or a cat, potentially a catbird, but it had everybody's songs going there. I'm like, is that a cardinal? No, it's it's like, a lot going on there. I think it was a mockingbird singing everybody else's songs. So, yeah, I too am really enjoying the mornings coming back. The spring is just so juicy with everything rising and all that life coming up. And also relate to what June said around, I feel like I'm living more in questions than answers right now around challenges. And a couple of people have, when I've talked about like a challenge, come up with these ideas I never would have thought of. Like they're really different. And so I'm trying to say, oh, wow, I just need to really be open right now and let life inform me rather than trying to go for a solution that just doesn't quite feel like the right one. So that's where I rest this very morning. And I think that's enough. I'm complete, and I'll give the crystal back to the group.
Kate feels inclined to pick up the crystal and talking stone out just because I feel like I'm in very much the same place of that, of waiting for the, I'll be informed of how to proceed any further, So I'm here today because I'm happy to report Nina, who I've also been doing these calls with that I love. They were in conflict. Well, she changed the call. It's now on Tuesday, so that I could participate in the Wednesday morning thing I was doing before. So I'm grateful for that. Grateful to be with you all, and I know that we're all. I think June expressed it so well as we feel this shifting as we're moving into this new consciousness and what that all means for us and exploring that. Remembering that love lives here and knowing that you all are doing your dharma, if you will, and we're all doing our best. That's kind of where I'm at in appreciating this, that the springtime of humanity has finally arrived. I know we all appreciate the springtime, and this time it's springtime of humanity. I'm thinking that we get to celebrate. And I'll pass on the crystal this morning. And thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. I feel the same way as the others, although I don't experience spring as you do because it's eternal spring where I live. And but we do have changes. This is our time when it's drier. I have more dry days, more sunshine. Skies often clearer anyway, because I'm on the edge of cloud forest and rainforest here, so we're often overcast, but the sun has been brighter, it's been warmer. Oh, I miss. Everyone assumes you're in Costa Rica, it must be hot, but no, not at 2,000 feet above sea level in a rainforest. It gets quite chilly. and so, hence this over this. Not ready to take more off yet this morning, but it's been beautiful. I feel the shift moving within me. I was led to meet someone maybe a quarter of a block away. I'm now hearing to talk about yoga. I'm now doing some yoga every evening with Stephanie. And I've been saying to the universe, I need to move more, I need to do more. I'm actually a Qigong instructor, but I haven't been able to make myself do anything, not even Qigong. and so this has given me not only motivation and other people to do some movement with, but a new friend. Because I'm here alone so much, and I haven't had anyone like-minded nearby that was even remotely close to my age. There are a few young ones, but they're busy with their kids and their work and stuff. And so now I have Stephanie, who's actually German, but she speaks Spanish fluently and not too bad her English. So it's been a real gift to me as I'm preparing for what I'm being called to do, along with Oriana's help every week. I think I had a bit of a breakthrough this past week, Oriana. So this has been really good. And I've been meaning to call you for days now, and just so maybe today. And so things are coming together. I see things moving in the world, and I feel that we're just on the edge of things really taking off now in a positive way on the planet. And I feel calmer. So we're ready. It's time. So, and yes, we work to get our Wednesday call changed to Tuesday. So I could join you at least once a month, maybe sometime sooner, more. So thank you.
And I'll pick up the talking stick. This is Oriana. Not sure you can hear me. So, feeling deeply into the love that's flowing into the heart. And I was in a group yesterday where we were using symbols to choose to really express what we were feeling. And I chose the empty door. And to first express the emptiness that is this deep longing of the world to be cared for. And I felt it so deeply, I could feel the baby wanting to be born. And really knowing that the world is this baby that wants to be born. And in our empath group, we had someone who had a friend that had a breech baby scheduled for cesarean the next morning. And together we could feel that baby, which didn't want to turn, was like, yeah, I thought this was going to be a good idea, but maybe not. No, I don't know about this. And literally feeling the tension and the resistance and the reluctance, and feeling it for ourselves, like where was that within us that we felt that kind of, I don't know, I'm not so sure about, I know I signed up for this, but whoa, wait a minute. And we loved that baby. We loved that baby and said, come on, you can do it. No, you're going to be cared for. You're going to be nurtured. We loved you so much. And unbeknownst to the mother that we were doing this, she didn't have any idea. But that at that same time, she reported to our friend afterwards that she had felt something different. And she got up and walked around and she just knew something was different. So she went to the hospital the next morning for her scheduled cesarean and had them first take a picture, and the baby had turned. The baby had turned about halfway so that they could then manipulate the baby into a full rotation, and the baby is now going to be born vaginally. So, and we have another baby that we're now turning as well. And really feeling that sense of the reluctance to enter fully. And what? You want me to go through this? What? And wait a minute. It's like, whoa. And knowing that we're being called forth. And that for me, the real message is to hear what's calling us forth. To really feel that sense of, come on, you can do it. You are so wanted. Oh, you are so loved. We want you here. You're like this vital being that you're just so precious. Come on all the way in. You can do it. We're waiting for you here. Come on. And that's what my heart feels, that deeper calling. And I then saw this empty bowl as being the receptacle, the vessel of divine light that could flow in and just fill this vessel with so much love that it overflowed. Couldn't help itself. Just couldn't help itself but overflow love. I return the talking stick.
Pick that talking stick up and do my share. I'm loving the pauses, the quiet between our shares today. It reminded me of listening to Greta speak, our beautiful, beloved Greta, who's speaking on behalf of all of us. She has these beautiful pauses, and she says something important, and she pauses. It's just gorgeous. Wow, the communication piece that just moved through this thread of really what's moving inside of us, and that depth of what that is that's consciously moving, and so many brought forward that expression piece and who we are and how we're expressing and this, I love this springtime on the planet and the rebirth. I too have been in this place, and I'm just gonna, for my check-in, kind of put a twist to it, because what I'm hearing and seeing and experiencing is the next shift for us. And if we continue to stay on that evolutionary edge, continue to listen, then the new information is there informing us. And I think one of the shifts, which I'm kind of hearing here too, was beautiful, is that, we kind of moved from self-centered, ego-centered, me, into the we. We just really did that good, right? Like many of the evolutionary leaders are bringing us into the collective consciousness and bringing us into that field and bringing us into shared leadership. And I'm reminded of the old proverb, the Native American proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I think that in the consciousness of evolutionary leaders, it was like, oh, fast isn't good. Going alone and going fast, we all have to go together now because we want to go far. We're gonna do this birthing thing. And yet that mama births by herself. We all hold her in this beautiful field, and that baby births through the mama, and the mama facilitates it. It's our turn. It's our time. There's this shift happening, and this is what's really moving through me is achieving a balance between the going fast and going far. You have to take back the going fast and the alone work. And we have to balance that within the collective. Because so often we're like shared leadership, you know, and we're waiting for the collective. We're waiting for everybody to get on board. We're waiting for everybody to bring their gifts into the collective. You know, we're like, and no, it's this balance now. I think we're getting the we part. We're getting the we. We're getting that new sense of consciousness. We're understanding resonance. We're understanding coherence. We're understanding co-creation. And now it's like, let's bring the me back in and go fast and far. And that's our individual gift. It's our individual voice. It's our individual energy. So that's what's moving in me today. And I just wanted to pull that through because I think it's fascinating as we continue to listen to the field here. We just had this beautiful expression of it again. And I'm in that same place, feeling like, bring it on, bring it. Here we go. So with that, pause. Thank you all for being here today. It's beautiful to see you all here. I just want to transition into that going far and going fast place of balance in that we just want to report back. This is our monthly co-creative, beautiful public call, and I want to report in with the Love Lives Here and invite you all in to find your far or find your fast or find your voice or find your support. So whatever is feeling right, I want to just report in, first of all, that many of you know, I think all of you know, that we did Love Lives Here 40 Days of Reconnection last year. Sharon learned about it last week, I think, for the first time, maybe, but maybe not. No, because you were doing you were around. So we're doing the Earth Day edition, an 8-day celebration for that connection with Earth, Earth Day edition. It begins April 15th and moves through April 22nd, which is Earth Day. So we're going to build the energy up to that day and then release that and hold that momentous movement of energy. So we're holding the field the 8th through the 15th. We're going to do that in a couple different ways. Number one, simplicity, and number two, collectively. So literally during those 8 days, Good of the Whole will be delivering it daily in our inboxes, that whoever registers will get this daily digest again, that every day you'll get beauty and simplicity. What's going on today? Art, some daily features, just a beautiful, simple, here's how we're really focusing on our intimate relationship with the earth. And then the other piece of that is that most of it will be live on Facebook. So we're offering some bookends of different, I said bookends because we thought we were doing morning and evening, but there's a lot in between that's emerging here. So we'll have a daily heart resonance on a Facebook Live with the Resonance Council. I'll let Shelley expand on that a little bit if she would like to in a minute. So we'll have a morning. I love the light that's beaming all over Shelley and sending just rays every which direction. It's so cool. So the morning resonance is one thing. And I was going to do an evening reflection, but I think we might have something else that's kind of emerging for evening. And during the day, I'm going to do, I think during the day, a Facebook Live as well. 8 spiritual practices for co-creating intimacy with Mother Earth. So I'll be doing that as a Facebook Live. And then we're inviting many different offerings. Linda will be doing 40-day Mala mantra meditation again, beginning that 15th with us. And all of the instructions, the video, everything will be on her page again, on Good of the Whole, and you all are welcome to practice that with her every day. She'll be doing some check-ins on our page every 10 days during that time. So there's 3 real offerings with substance. And then breathing into that, we're inviting everyone to participate, to co-create. So you're all welcome as part of our community. If there's something that is moving through you that you're already doing that would be easy to contribute, whether that be creating a piece of art, whether that be sharing a project you're already working on, whether that be you want to do a Facebook Live or you want to offer, whatever that might be, we're looking for that which is meaningful that you would like to share, and how that creates value that contributes to raising the vibration on the planet. So we're really looking at what are these offerings that are meaningful and create value for us as we're really focusing on the higher vibration on the planet. We don't want to contribute to the noise. And we really, like, if you imagine, we can't imagine energy in real form sometimes, but if we imagine a metaphor of energy being at levels, if we really want to bring the energy up to the highest vibrational frequency. And right now on the planet, there's so much noise down at these lower frequencies. So we really want to be mindful that we're not contributing to the noise and that illusion of separation that exists here. We really want to hold these higher frequencies for this 8 days and contribute in a meaningful way, even if that's just simple, subtle energy, prayer, meditation, the highest vibrational frequencies, joy, gratitude. So with that, I'm watching the birds begin to gather outside. I'm just thinking about all the Shelley's birds and that mockingbird. And I'm seeing this bird right outside my window with a really nice long piece of straw from somewhere, and they're starting to nest here. So we just want to bring this Love Lives Here forward, Earth Day edition, 2019 Earth Day edition, and open this if you have questions, if you have, how do I participate? Today you're going to receive an email from Shelley and I, and it will have that information on it, how to get to Linda's, how to register, but also how to contribute. We're inviting people to maybe just do a 3-minute or less video that's just sharing something from your heart that we can put on the page all day long. We'll be just sharing, what does Earth Day mean to you? What does Love Lives Here mean to you? We have some sample questions that you could just record a 3-minute video and share that. And that would be a beautiful offering. And we're not expecting anything. Like, there's no pressure to do this. We just are inviting you to support it energetically. And if you feel called to express, because we're talking about expression here, we're really looking at expressing that and sharing that in myriad different ways. So with that, I'm going to first invite Shelley to add if there's anything to add or not, if there's nothing to add, and then we'll invite Linda to just say a little bit about your offering and add, and then open that up to any questions that you might have in the next 10 minutes of our call before we close.
Thank you, Julie. I think the only thing for me to add is just this understanding of the whole. That ultimately, that's the expression that for those that really want to participate, because I feel like there are really important times to honor when we need to receive. And the receiver of this experience is just important as a contributor. And so for me, it's like what is the earth asking of me? How is the earth asking me to show up? And what's interesting to me in my circumstances, okay, well, yes, of course, there's going to be the heart resonance, because we know that the heart resonance is the impulse of everything. You know, when things are in resonance, then everything moves out and it touches in the right moment to the right person at the right time. You know, that kind of that feeling of synchronicity. What's interesting here is, for me, just personally, if I ask myself that question, I'm being really asked to speak about 5G and the relationship between the earth and the technology, and help educate myself and therefore the children. You know, I might offer something like that, which I'm using with. So I think for, you know, to be really gentle and just to know this is a gift that the earth is giving us, you know, in being that expression, you know, what is really needed from each one of us. You know, what is it? Maybe it's as simple, I was talking to Julie this morning, and maybe it's as simple as, that bird is so loud, is that me? It does not stop the entire time. So, you know, now I lost my train of thought because I was thinking with the bird. But yeah, you know, just, oh, I know. So it could be as simple as just a phrase that keeps coming to you. You know, maybe it's your internal mantra. Maybe, you know, it's something you've gotten in a reading, and maybe it's as simple as making a graphic, just taking yourself a little, extending yourself to bring forth something, a piece of wisdom that's coming from your heart out to the world. It can be that simple, and it can be on one day. It doesn't, you know, just to reiterate what Julie was saying, that anything goes here, and that there is no pressure and there is no judgment, and that we're really honoring I mean, today for me, the word was honor, really honoring myself, and that even a no can be the greatest yes. You know, I love this. It's, you know, so that's all I want to say is just, I'm just listening for what's appropriate, and you'll get the letter, and it'll be really beautiful because it's simple and it explains very easily. And if you haven't weren't a part of Love Lives Here last year, and you want to know more, or maybe you have someone that you would like to share it with, because that role too is as important as contributing. You know, maybe there's 1 to 5 people that you would love to hear introduce Love Lives Here to, and there's nothing really until the 15th, but you can send them to go experience what happened last year, and where it's, you know, it's being offered again, this deepening. And I think the word that captured everyone in the beginning, when Julie originally asked us to do those short shares, and everyone went really deep, because you actually said in your, you know, what's the depth? You know, go to the depth. And I think everybody really was going to the depth, even though it wasn't fully in its, you know, completed expression, you know. So anyway, I love you all, and it's really nice to be here, and just about enjoying what the gifts you're being given, and singing your melody. Loving you. Bye.
Linda, can you do a really short little blurb so we have time for some questions?
You know, that bird got silent as soon as Shelley said, find your own song. And I just wanted to be quiet and listen to that bird. Because I think we can learn a lot. We talk about connecting with the earth and loving the earth. Sometimes it just takes standing outside and listening, just being still, just grounding your feet in. I think the mantra, there are 2 mantras, and there's going to be an explanation and about a 12-minute video on the page of Love Lives Here, Earth Edition, or Healing Earth Edition. But you'll get the link to that, and I would invite you to register. Most everybody here has already registered, so you'll get the emails. And to prepare for your own 40 days. And now I know that Love Lives Here is having an 8-day intensive every day to lead up to Earth Day. And the 40 days will continue after that. I personally have started my 40-day mantra mala meditation, but that's fine. I think it is just a beautiful practice, and it could go on and on, you know, beyond 40 days. So I'm inviting you to get your mala beads and listen to these 2 chants. One is Om Shri Gaya Ma Pranatva Gaya Ma. And I find that it just kind of keeps going over my head. And that is a chant to just envision Mother Earth perfect. So she doesn't need healing. She's already perfect. She's abundant and full and in her perfection. And so I just kind of walk around saying, you know, Om Shri Gaya Ma Pranatva Gaya Ma as my little mantra walking around. The other one that I'm doing is a little bit more intense, and I think it takes some concentration, but it is Ramadasa Sase Soham. It's easy once you get into the rhythm, and that last sound hung is the projection that Julie and Shelley were both talking about. It comes from the third eye, and that energy comes right up here, so you kind of hang on to hung and just bring your root chakra in and kind of hold that energy, and it's like projecting out to Mother Earth anything and anything that she would want for healing. And when you do that and you imagine Mother Earth, it's everything on the earth. It's the waters, it's the land, the mountains, the forests, the jungles, birds, the critters. So that's going to be my contribution, and I'll just keep bringing that up and reminding people so that they be very conscious and very mindful of paying attention to the earth. And yeah, so even on my website, I'm creating all of the videos that I did for the 7 days of rest and reflection at the beginning of the year, dealing with each element and climate, biodiversity, and the spirit within everything. So it's a beautiful practice, and I'm just inviting everyone to join along. I don't know if we're going to have time or an avenue to do a collective group chant. I don't know how that would work on Facebook, but that's something that I would have to, consider. I would think that whenever you're doing your chanting with your mala, is that you just imagine and project that you're doing it with a collective, because it's a me-we activity. Absolutely me-we, which is a little character in the book I wrote, the little me-we bird. And you can't have one without the other. I can't be in the we if I don't have me. So that's all I want to say about that, unless you have any questions. And Julie, thank you very much for being patient with me and getting everything up on the website. I felt we were so pressed for time that starting on the 15th would be it would be easier for everybody. So thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you. So, thank you. Beautiful. Any questions, comments, anything from the field at this point about Love Lives Here? We're approaching the top of the hour really quickly here. But anyone?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in terms of contributing something, I don't know if the email will have instructions on the logistics of how to do that. I know that we talked about posting regularly at one point on one of our groups, and I've been trying to do that Tuesday, but I didn't yesterday, partly because I don't know still how to post as administrator. I didn't see that I had that ability. And I also have a question about, can I link to other stuff, like the National Geographic photo of the day, something like that? Is that like something that could be a post just to take people to other sites that are honoring? Okay. So there's...
Yeah, we could talk about that, but the National Geographic photo of the day would be beautiful with a link, but bring us into like literally
what the connection is.
Yeah, it'd be gorgeous.
Yeah, because they had one with birds that was just perfect for, if I was thinking about posting this series of Love Lives Here with birds, but I don't have the photos, like I would have to get them other places. And as long as it's okay to link like that,
yeah,
then I can write the context for why it's this theme, but then the photos I would be grabbing from other places.
Yeah.
If I do it that way, it makes it much easier.
Yes, beautiful.
I would just say one thing, do not go near Getty images. I think everything else, Julie, you can say something, but I would just stay away from any Getty images. But you can also screenshot, but what I usually do is I screenshot with, I make sure I know who's painting or art or photo, and if you're making a graphic, you just want to list it on there, and or just say in the post, yeah. But Getty, I would stay far away from, unless you buy a Getty image. Yeah.
Right, they sell, but I'm thinking of other organizations that post them, or even things from Instagram, or there's a lot of beautiful stuff out there. And I think as long as you attribute it, it's okay to reshare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the most part, because that's a complicated answer. For the most part, yeah.
Right.
Something public like National Geographic, where we're giving them a link, that's very different. So, yeah.
All right.
Any other questions?
Or support you feel like you're needing as well. If you feel like you need some support, call Julie.
Or Shelley.
I just have to say that, Shelley, you look so angelic. I don't know where you are, but the light is coming in, and your hair, and it's so soft, and it's amazing. This is
Florida. Maybe not too much longer, so if you want to come visit, come next month.
Where are you going now?
I don't know yet. No, I'm going probably to New Hampshire, Maine, because I'm speaking at a Dowson convention there in June, so more than likely there. But we'll see. I don't know.
So
CCC happening. I don't know how I'm going to.
Right. I have that one question. Who is going to the CCC? I have not registered yet. Raise your hand if you're going to the Co-Creators Convergence. I'm going to raise it this way. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Time out, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm having grandbabies, so I'll be in New York being a grandma. I'm not sure if I'll be back or not yet, so I don't know yet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go, but sorry, Sharon. I want to go, but I have to be 3 days later. I have to be in New England, and I'm going to be in New England, so I just don't know whether I can. It's a good idea for me physically and financially to make that move, but we'll see. I've been every year except when I was in Australia, so we'll see. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be out there. We're in New Mexico and Colorado, that whole area, birding for like a week or two, and supporting my daughter babysitting while she's at a conference out there. That's what's sparking around the dates. I have to work around that. So I'd be out there. It's a question whether with the dates and I'd be able to stay longer and just fly back. I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
It's June 12th.
We will also be having a Good of the Whole retreat the last Saturday in September, or the last weekend in September. So those dates, we don't know if it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday in September, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, coming in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and leaving on Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leaving on Sunday. It'll be at Johnson Lake. And
it's really happening, Kate, for real.
So anyway,
Where's Johnson Lake?
In the middle of Nebraska, Lexington.
Yeah, this will be at your.
Yeah, my cabin. So I'm just going to say the good old last call, and anything else for the good of the whole. Last call. I guess that's a sign. Let those birds sing.
It has been singing the entire time we've been on. And when you said last call, I was just checking with it.
He's happy bird, happy bird. A hawk flew over while we were talking too. Right outside my window. Okay. I'm just going to.
Are birds that common? I think it's fascinating that what Sharon said, that it was, because I was just delighting in the bird too, and Julie mentioned something about it. Just I've been getting so many reminiscences when I'm in groups anymore about the bird tribes, And so, is the minor bird very common, or is that quite rare?
The mockingbird, I believe. Mockingbird.
I'm going to check it out.
Mockingbird sings everybody else's song. It'll have 20 different songs going.
But that's good of the whole. That's perfect because it's good of the whole. That's what we're doing. We're singing up everybody else's songs. That's the essence of good of the whole. So,
Mockingbird.
Yeah, Mockingbird. They just go on and on. They sound like a cardinal, then they sound like a blue jay, and then they just do them all.
Are they everywhere, Sharon? Yeah. Are they?
What?
Are they pretty?
They're pretty common.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're pretty common. I don't know about. I know East Coast they certainly are, and in Florida there's lots of mockingbirds.
Yeah. Mockingbird is highly evolved.
Yeah, it's also, remember the Hunger Games, they used the mockingbird as that symbol of freedom. And yeah, they're beautiful birds. Very flashy when they fly with the white on their wings.
Oh, when you just did that, it just flew off and jumped up and landed back on the wire.
Flash, it's white. It's a gray bird with white on its wings. Yeah. Catbirds can sing a lot like that too, but they're not here yet. They're down in Costa Rica. The catbirds haven't come south yet, although they might be in Florida by now. We had a blue-gray gnatcatcher this week that we were thrilled about.
He's doing this funny thing ever since you said he's lifting his arms and going like this.
So now everybody has to Google a mockingbird.
I know, we have to. It's our totem.
That's what I was thinking. It's our totem.
Yeah.
There you go, dear friends. Okay, everybody, June, you're off mute too. Let's all unmute ourselves. And some love and some of our song. Everybody contribute that song. We've been talking into the field. Love you all, love you all, love you all. Thank you.
Love. Good night. Warm heart.
Thank you, Julie. Love you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Julie.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.